Welcome to Star Trek Online Academy with Oldbob 10025. In our last episode, we were actually talking about ships. So now we're going to talk about traits and generalization about traits. Later on, of course, I'll be going into more detail about traits, but give me a chance to go make those videos. But here we go. We're going to go to traits now. Now, traits are kind of like skills. Not really skills, but you could change them out to be whatever you want. It's kind of like in fantasy games, Runes of Magic, you play different types of people, and that's basically like what this one is. So traits, you have personal ground traits, personal space traits, starship traits, space reputation traits, and ground reputation traits, and active reputation. So I'm going to go into detail about these two right now. I'll generally tell you about these two or these four like later on. But the ground traits are anything for ground traits or ground skills you can have. Now the coolest thing about traits is you can trade them out to be whatever you want. So if I don't want to have, say, acute senses, which gives me perception and plus exploit damage when flanking, I can just click that and go, I want to have mind meld. So boom, I have mind meld, and now I have the ability in my bar. Now whenever you have traits, there's passive traits, and then there's ones you click, like say mind meld. Basically this is one that you click, so you have to click this in order to do a mind meld. So these can only be used during ground, these can only be used during space. So you can click these off and do whatever type of ones you want, and you can buy traits in the exchange for later on for injury credits. You can buy, you can also get them in something called a lockbox, which you open with a key, and the keys cost about 4 million energy credits each, or you can purchase them for about, I think like $2 a piece. Is it about $1 a piece, basically. A dollar or two or something like that. I have to look at it actually with the Zen store. Let's see here. Items and a master pack. So you get them for 10, or you could buy like a about $1.25 basically. So traits you can use. You can change them out to be whatever you want. So let's say I don't want to have this one here. You basically click it. Let's go find it here, and that is. Oh, that's a normal trait that I have. A physical strength. That's because I'm a cool guy that I basically have cool stuff on my character. So, go this one here. Covert. I don't want to have a covert. I want to have, let's see. I want to have sure-footed. So, basically, anytime you click this to go ahead and get the details, I go to ground traits. Anytime you're being hit, you have 25% root resistance, immune to root while aiming. So basically they won't stop you. Like some weapons and some different types of monsters actually would root you in place so you can't move, which then they do more damage. And then knockback resistance, same thing. So let's go with this one. Also, let's say I want to use pistols like only. This will give you plus 5% pistol weapon damage. So that's when you pick those. That's how you pick your traits. Now, every time you level 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and then level 60, you get extra traits to go and use. Now, and then also you can purchase, like I said, purchase them in the exchange for X amount of money, and there's a lot of them that you can get, and that's basically, there's a ton of them that you can get. So, and then starship, and then, let's see here, then personal space traits, same thing. You can do like whatever you want. Click them out here. Beam training, you gain plus 5% more damage with beams. Co-sighting with your ship, which has the tactical console, which is 3.8%. So now it's 8.8% phaser damage. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool, like when you go pick your traits and everything. So those are those. You could change these out to whatever you want to be, whatever you decide on a build you want to do, or different traits you want to do. Projectile training, since you use photons, that will give a plus 5% projectile, which projectiles are always going to be your photons, plasma torpedoes, any type of torpedoes or anything else like that will be that stat, or that trait will work for it. So that's how you do traits. Starship traits are when you purchase a level 6 ship or a tier 6 ship, and you level that ship, which is used through a I'm not getting too technical like with this. Hopefully this might overwhelm you guys, but when you buy or get a T6 ship, a lot of times they have you can level them out, and then once you hit the max level, you get a trait that you can use for anything you want. Some will give it extra damage for feedback pulse, which is a certain type of skill. Some will give you to launch go launch fighters a lot quicker. Just all depends what it is. And that's basically, there's a whole mess load of T6 ships you can check out into the Zen store. Get T6, and these are all the T6 ships you can get. Some are Klingons, some are Federation, some are Romulan. So it just all depends which ones you want to get. You have bundles and everything else. Generally, when you buy Zen, it's about this will be about $30. Let's see here. Yeah, about $30 a ship basically. Or the coolest thing about Star Trek Online is you can actually grind out to Zen, but it takes a long time to do. You can also do that as well. You really do not need to spend money on this game. If you want to, cool. It's just like every other game. It's not a pay-to-win game. You got to understand that. It's not a pay-to-win game. You just have to grind it out just a little bit, because if you play PvP and you only play PvP, yeah, it might be pay-to-win. But if you just do PvE, which is player versus like NPC or player versus like environment, you won't have to worry about it. So that's Starship Traits. Space Reputation is when you go and get these things here. You don't have it yet, but once you hit level 40, I think it's level 40 or 50, you basically can get reputation points, and each one will give you a certain, once you complete one tier, each tier is each reputation, say like Romulan like reputation, when you help do Romulan projects and help Romulans later on in the game, you get points to use towards the reputation. Once you hit there's 5 tiers per reputation, and then each tier gives you two different traits that you can use inside your space or ground reputation. Just all depends. And then active reputation is a special reps that you get later on in the game. That's basically how traits work. Always you want to keep your traits up to date. If you always do ground missions and you love ground missions, definitely look into whatever you got to do for the ground missions that you think is best, and then also space missions. Generally, a lot of people keep like a standardized listing or like a standard. These are all my space traits. These are this. But a lot of times when they change out their ship builds, they go ahead and change them out to be like to have fighters. So they have like 2 or 3 traits for fighters, or for like carrier pets and that type of thing. So it just all depends what you want to do like later on in the game. And then Starship Traits, the same thing. These are for tier 6, and Space Rep you get from doing the reputation system, which I don't have up here yet, but I will later on in the future to go and show you like what it is. So that's basically how the traits work. Always keep your traits up to date if you can. It's very hard to lose them or to go figure out like what you're doing with them. But anyways, thank you for watching my YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. I know you can watch other YouTubers, and I really appreciate you watching mine. And I will see you on Star Trek Online. Remember, you are what makes this game great, guys.